Welcome and thank you for taking a few minutes to review the services offered by Proxity Electronic Commerce. While Proxity offers data services for all industries selling to the military and federal and state and local governments, this brief tutorial will focus on those companies selling parts. Last year there was over $150 billion in sales of products to the government, the world's largest marketplace. The most predominant is the Department of Defense with all of their agencies. The Proxity solution provides two basic areas of interest which will allow users to stay aware of all open opportunities as well as become proactive in selling to the government agencies and their incumbent prime contractors the same way you sell commercially, by researching your potential clients and their history of buying. This easy-to-use system is arranged in three groups: primary searches, parts and products, and research. The first button that we're going to look at is Research All Open Solicitations. From this page, we are trying to develop search criteria to set up your daily profile so that you're only seeing opportunities for your business. We can search by keywords if they're in the title of a solicitation or in the body of a solicitation. We can search by a professional service code. We can look up an individual national stock number. We can see opportunities for Federal Supply Group and class, also by NAICS number, and we can search for a cage code for your competitor or companies that you represent. We may also narrow the search by an individual state and for set-aside opportunities. Let's use the keyword bolts. When you do click on the national stock number, you will be brought to a page that shows you all the information about this particular part. You can have the information that is behind all of these buttons on a single document when you click Create Report so that you're able to keep good records. You will see that there's drawings associated with this part. We're one of two companies that provides drawings in a PDF file format, and you're able to see the award history. And here's a list of companies that have sold this part to the government. Let's also search by a NAICS code 332510, hardware manufacturing. And here's a list of opportunities by that NAICS code. You can see the solicitation itself. You have the national stock number, all the information, technical characteristics, award history, forecasting, and if there's drawings associated with it, and the opening and closing date. Again, the information from this page is very important to discover the search criteria that will help us set up your profile. Then you will only see relevant opportunities for your company across all agencies. Also, you will have the ability to receive only those opportunities which have drawings and technical characteristics, as well as the part open for bid to any company. Next, we're going to look at Just My Opportunities. Proxity combines solicitations from all federal acquisition sites, as well as 2,200 state and local governments. This list will show all your opportunities on a single page. When you click on the NSN, you will have further information. If you want to see forecasting, you'll see that the last price paid for this bolt was $50.86. Over the next 2 years, they will purchase 870 units. If the DoD has forecasting on the part, you will have a quick determination in a bid or no bid scenario. This is data which will show if you may become a successful bidder. Set-asides do play a factor. This list is broken into two parts. The top portion is for DLA's DIBs. The lower portion of the list is for FedBizOps and state and local opportunities. Here's a FedBizOps opportunity that has a national stock number associated with it. We are able to search by NSN when you put in the national stock number, and again you'll be brought to this page that shows that it is a Lockheed Martin part. There are some drawings associated with this part that are available, and here's the award history from 1991 to June of this year on who sold that part to the government. Here's a state and local opportunity. This is for Los Angeles. And you're also able to forward any of these solicitations to a colleague. Because the federal government is not required to announce purchases under $25,000, we have data you may otherwise miss. Let's look at all government contractors. If your company manufactures or distributes hardware, nuts, bolts, and screws, you may want to sell directly to the end user or partner with a company currently selling to the government with a set-aside. Let's look for commercial clients for your products. Let's use NAICS code 236220, Commercial and Institutional Building Construction. You're able to export this list to Excel. These are all companies that have that NAICS code in their CCR and SAM.gov information. You have their contact information. You will have their email addresses so that you can send out a capability statement that in the event these contractors could use your products during the course of their business, this would be an excellent commercial client list. Let's find a partnering opportunity for you to sell your hardware to the government. We're going to use Federal Supply Class 5306. We're looking for a set-aside company that is service-disabled, veteran-owned. Also, let's check this box. We only want to see companies that have truly sold to the government. They will understand the paperwork and the bid process and make an excellent partner with you. Everyone on this list is service-disabled, veteran-owned, and they're selling bolts to the government. Again, contact information, email addresses so you can contact them and send them over a capability statement. All this goes into Excel. On the parts and products side, there are a couple key items here. The first is machine shop opportunities. The opportunities are shown by Federal Supply Class. In this way, you understand how the military acquires items. If the part does not have this data with new purchase forecasting, your organization may choose to devote its time to projects that have a more likely path to success. Again, Proxity is the tool which will assist you to quickly determine a bid or no bid decision. Let's look at Federal Supply Class 5306, bolts. Again, here's a list where you're able to see the opportunity solicitation. You would want to make a note of any contact in any solicitation with their telephone number and email address. So you have the NSN award history, the description of the part, all the other information along with the quantity, the estimated value of this solicitation, and the opening and closing date. Search by NSN. As we saw earlier, if you see an NSN in a solicitation, it will bring you to this page that shows you all the information, including if there's drawings available and the award history. Here are the companies that have sold this item to the government. DLA prime contractors. This information is key in being successful selling to the government and selling to the prime contractors, which in many cases is simply a broker of the item being sold. Let's look at Federal Supply Class 5306, and here is a list of prime contractors selling bolts to the government. When you do click on a company, you will see the contact information for SPS Technologies LLC. You're able to see what they're selling in the way of national stock numbers. Here's a list of parts that they are selling to the government currently. You're also able to see contracts. Again, this is a wonderful partnering opportunity. You may export this to Excel. When you do click on the agency, you will have their contact information. Our clients have told us that the Proxity system will provide more knowledge of the prime's past awards than they know about their own performance. This knowledge is important in establishing a commonality with the incumbent prime, so you may be successful in selling to these companies quicker than selling to the government directly. Last button under Parts and Products, Mil Specs and Non-Government Standards. Proxity has the ability to retrieve specifications and standards cited in the solicitations. These are available to you at no additional charge, but note, if the standard is a non-government standard, there may be a fee associated for that information. And here's the document for packaging and shipping information. The third group is research. Let's look at expiring contracts through 2019. If your company provides parts and support services, Every expiring federal contract through 2019 will be available for researching pricing history, contract details, prime contractor data, and more. For this demonstration, let's say that your firm is a pump supplier to the engineering community. So let's enter environmental remediation. Simply enter the search term in the keyword box. Let's choose a year, 2015. You may narrow the search by state. We'll pick Alabama, and you can also search if you're looking for a particular set aside. So you can export this to Excel. You have the vendor information and the agency that they're working for in the state of Alabama. Find contracting officers. We're able to narrow the search by an individual state. You may look for an agency. We can use a keyword, NAICS code, Federal Supply Group, or Professional Service Code. We're going to use NAICS code 332510, which is hardware manufacturing. And these are contracting officers across all agencies that are purchasing hardware for the government. Award history. Let's pick 2013. You can look for keywords, Professional Service Code. Again, we're going to use NAICS code 332510. And this is an award history for that NAICS code in the state of Alabama with the vendors and the agencies with the estimated completion date. Using this data correctly in most cases will make you more knowledgeable than the prime contractors contact currently. The next three buttons, teaming subcontractor data, prime contractors by NAICS, and agency profile, are provided to those companies in the services industry. Let's look at business-to-business marketing. The information provided here will assist you in selling to the commercial marketplace. For the sake of this demo, let's say you are a company selling into the building industry, say plumbing supplies. So let's determine all those contractors building houses. You start with your zip code. You pick a radius out to 500 miles. We'll use 100. And we're going to use NAICS code 236115, new single-family housing construction. Again, you can get this in Excel. All these companies are within 100 miles of your location. You do have their contact information along with their email address, and you send them over a capability statement to see if they could use your products. Let's say that you're looking to partner with a company to sell your products to the government on your behalf. Again, you would have a zip code. You choose a radius of 100 miles. This time we're going to choose a different NAICS code, 332994, which is hardware manufacturing. And this time you only want to see companies that have truly won an award with the government. They're going to understand the paperwork and the bid process and make an excellent partner with you. Every one of these companies has sold hardware to the government recently. You may also narrow the search to a set-aside, service-disabled, veteran-owned, and here's a list of service-disabled, veteran-owned companies. The next button is federal and state institutions. Let's choose Alabama. We want to see military and federal purchasing locations in Alabama. The grouping at the top are military facilities with expiring contracts and a button for the Small Business Assistance Officer. They can help put you together with the right personnel on the base for what you're looking to do there. And there's also a list of other federal agencies within the state of Alabama. And finally, the last button is State, City, and County Roadmap. Again, we'll stay with Alabama. You'll see a listing of state, county, and city contacts, chief information officers, and IT people, because this is electronic commerce. But you would want a capability statement out to these folks that in the event they need any of your products or services, you would be considered for an RFQ. In summary, Proxity is the only organization that offers you data on all four areas of interest to you: expanding your commercial sales, selling into the small purchasing world of the Department of Defense, all federal agencies, as well as state and local governments. Simply bidding is not the answer in selling into the world's largest buyer. Proxity stands ready to train you and your organization on how to take advantage of the most detailed database in the world so you have an advantage acquiring new clients, public and private. For more information, please use the Contact Us button on the top of the page. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.